Hi, my name is Sabrina Whitehorse, and I am so honored to be a host here on Taken TV. And we are in Palm Beach County, and we have an amazing man who's making a difference. People that we love to interview on this platform, making a difference, broadcasting. He's a film producer. David, thank you so much for taking the time to be here with us on Taken TV. You have an amazing project, and your story before the cameras were rolling is really a God thing. I want to say it's a God thing because you just came into it 2 weeks ago, right?
Yeah, that's
with
right.
With Angel Studios.
That's right.
So could you tell us a little bit about how that happened, and then also tell us about your vision for the movie Sight?
Absolutely. Good to be here, Sabrina.
Awesome.
Great to be with Taken. You know, God has a call on all of our lives, doesn't he? I mean, we constantly are going about the work of our lives, and sometimes we just have to take time to pause and to listen to a Father who loves us, to listen to a Father who goes out ahead of us, who sends Jesus to be beside us and behind us. And that's what I had to do in my own life. I had to look very directly into the mirror and ask the Lord, what is the call that you have for me? And he said, I want you to be a storyteller, David. I want you to go out and tell stories that change culture, that change the world. And so I started to do that. Over a decade ago, I began producing feature film. And as I was on that track, I met this extraordinary human being in Nashville, Tennessee. He's an eye doctor, an eye surgeon, who is best in class across the world. People come to him. He's touted to having been the eye doctor's doctor, right?
Wow.
4,000 surgeries on MDs themselves, over 55,000 surgeries across the world. And this man invented something that has restored the sight of millions of people all around the world. And so I had to know his story. I had to have him tell it to me. And when I heard it, I said, this is bound for a feature film. And so I worked on the film Sight. We brought that together, and I was the producer of that feature film. And I brought it to Angel Studios about a year ago. And when Angel Studios took that project, they put it into their guild first. Angel Studios, listen, they're transforming Hollywood by putting a guild together. You cannot get, what Hollywood says is you greenlight films, and the people that greenlight a film is like a handful of people in a back room.
Right.
They're looking at the project and they're saying whether you are going to like the project or not. And how many times do they get that right? Here's the reality. We love the feature film and the television series space, and we think that so many people have gone before us and forged an incredible path. But when it comes to the type of movies and the type of series that are going in front of my children, that I have an option to see out there, I am disgusted. I'm disgusted with what I have to see. And we thought, you know what? We could bring Sight, my team and what I put together, we could bring Sight to a group like Angel and see if the guild would say yes to it. And you know what? They did.
And that's amazing. That's such an amazing story because, first of all, there's so much to this because I'm a Native American healer, right? I love herbs, leaves, trees, roots. And so what you're talking about with this doctor that's helping sight, that's so powerful to get that story. So you had the vision to get that story and to make it a film.
That's right.
And I think that God really wants you to broadcast and get things out there like that because people need to understand that the truth needs to be revealed and we have to stop with the lies. I don't know what it's about, but I'm sure that this doctor is absolutely phenomenal if he's bringing sight back to people.
Listen, I mean, he grew up during the Cultural Revolution of China. He grew up during an atrocious time. He grew up an atheist. He didn't understand. God was not revealed to him in any kind of a way when he was a child. But he still had this deep heart that I can't harm a human being.
Yes.
That human beings have dignity, that human beings are endowed with something beyond anything we could imagine, a value beyond anything that we could ever transact.
Yes.
And so Dr. Wang, he fought for what was right in his life during a time that was atrocious, during the reign of totalitarianism and communism in China.
And that's so powerful, David, what you're saying, because people are afraid sometimes. And I think that this film is going to allow people to maybe be able to understand that there is a space for us to be warriors. There is a space for us to walk out and be fearless in our dedication towards the truth. So tell us about this infamous story about a flyer.
Oh, yes.
And ended up in somebody's yard?
Absolutely. So listen. The movie is cited, like we said, it's about Dr. Ming Wang, and Dr. Ming Wang has started the Wang Vision Institute out of Nashville, Tennessee. It's been one of the most successful eye institutes in the country. Right? Powerful work is done there. And what happened is he constantly is making marketing material with his staff. And he hands it out everywhere he goes. Anywhere you go, if you look inside of Dr. Wang's pockets, he's got something on his clinic that he's going to hand out, always. And I've said to him, Doc, we're making a feature film on your life. Stop handing out flyers everywhere. It's chintzy. We don't need to do that. And he said, no, I'm going to do it everywhere I go. You never know who needs my help.
Amen.
And I just said, okay, or whatever. And I was like, look at all these people. They're throwing it away. And he goes, it doesn't matter. Well, my words were put to the test, and I was put in my place. Okay, one of his flyers ends up in the garbage, ends up flying literally into the back of a person's lawn. That person who saw that flyer is married to someone with severe eye issues, could not see. That person picks up the flyer, notices that it's Dr. Wang, that he's got eye surgery professional, and she brings her husband to Dr. Wang. Today, this man sees. I kid you not, today. That is the hand of God.
Amen. Amen. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Yeah, you bet. That's right. You know, Sight hit theaters May 24th this year. It had an incredible theatrical run, 2,100 screens. That's like the 1% of 1%. You just don't get that many screens in Hollywood today, especially for a film like this. And so Sight went out. The Guild and the audiences responded to it, and now you can find Sight on angel.com /Guild. You can become a member of the Guild. And here's the thing that we're disrupting, Sabrina.
Yes.
To be a member of the Guild, what are we doing? We're saying you get to choose. Imagine if Netflix let us choose the next 10 movies that they buy.
Yes.
The next 100 movies that they buy. They're not going to do that.
Right.
Angel decided to do that for you. So when you go into an Angel Guild membership, you get a chance to look at movies like Sound of Freedom.
I love that
Tell
movie.
me, come
oh my
on,
goodness.
it was amazing. Movies like His Only Son,
Yes.
the movie of Abraham and Isaac. Movies like The Shift, which is a parable off of Job. Movies like Cabrini, that was so beautifully done by Alejandro Monteverde.
Yes.
Movies like Sight and Sound of Hope. And series. You get a chance to see the Wingfeather series, the Tuttle Twins, the Riot and the Dance. We are trying to transform.
It's a culture.
Yes.
There's a true culture, and it's a God thing.
Absolutely.
You know, I think that what Angel Studios is doing is truly courageous.
Thank
and
you.
I think that many more people, any of our audience listening to this, Angel Studios is shifting the way that Hollywood has always interacted with us.
Yes.
And so I think that is just beyond powerful, beyond words. I actually am at a loss for words on how powerful it is, because if you see any of these movies that David was talking about, they are so moving in every single way. But not only are they moving, they teach us and they transform us. And so it's a very transformative time for us, I think, now, David. And the fact that you had the ability to walk into that journey with Angel Studios is a God thing.
Yeah, I can't be more excited. I mean, to wake up and to be a part of movies and series that amplify light, that bring the good and the true and the beautiful together. We still want to produce for mainstream. We want you to see movies that are just highly produced, directors of photography that use gorgeous coloring in their films. And we want to show the entire industry that we can compete for the hearts and minds of audiences, and we can actually transform this space. And you can do it in a way that's harder, okay? It's harder to make a movie that actually shares all of our values.
Yes.
Because we know how attractive addictions are, and sex is, and all of and violence, and we know that actually drives a lot of people to come into the movie theater. But we think that there is a smarter, more intelligent way to make movies, and we're going to find that. We're going to find that thread, and we're going to make those.
Well, I think you've already found it, and I think that's one of the reasons why we were so excited to have you on Taken TV, because this is what we're all about,
Yes.
is being able to uplift, support you in your mission. And I'm just so honored to be sitting next to you and knowing that you're making a difference for so many people.
I'd love to tell you about what's coming.
Yes.
November
Yes,
22nd,
yes.
we've got Dietrich Bonhoeffer coming. Okay, this is the Bonhoeffer movie. This is an epic pastor, spy, assassin. We're talking about Hitler, we're talking about the Nazis, and we're talking about one of the most prolific, incredible writers of the 20th century who went into behind enemy lines to help his church in Germany speak up and do what was right. We heard that last night here at Turning Point. We heard we have to speak up as a church. We have to speak up as people that believe in values.
Yes.
Bonhoeffer did that, and we want to celebrate that through a feature film on his life. It was made absolutely incredibly. You're going to love it. It comes out November 22nd.
So wait for it, because I'm sure it's going to be amazing. Anything that Angel Studios puts out is truly transformative and very, very godly.
Thank you.
David, thank you so much. It's such an honor to have you here.
Thank you for having me, Sabrina.
This is Sabrina Whitehorse. You're watching Taken TV, and thank you. See you next time. Bye-bye.